Motherfucker. Right. Hopefully the setup doesn't fall over. Hey guys, welcome back. This is obviously not the type of content that I usually make, but I'm going to be dismantling and showing you how to dismantle this controller. Personally, what I'm doing is I'm looking for the stick drift, because I've had a lot of stick drift in this stick, where if I point it down a slight amount and then let go, it will just drift down or up or any other way that it decides to, essentially. So I've got a few tools to help me. If you've watched a tutorial before, you may know that you will have to take this front plate off, this face plate. You do usually need a sharp tool to get underneath. I have only got a select few items that are likely to fit. By a select few, I mean a used watch belt. Okay, so after what felt like years, I finally managed to get this piece off. So what you do now, after you've gotten that piece pried off, you're literally just going to remove the faceplate moderately gently, I'd say, just so no pieces come off. They probably won't, but I'm just saying, in case, you know, I don't want you to break your controller if you're trying to take it apart. And just like that, we've got the faceplate off. By the way, if you're wondering why there's so many pauses in this video, it's because the sponsor of it, no, I'm just kidding. On a real note, this thing is literally stood up on a Nintendo Switch box. So, I'm working with what I've got, okay? So one thing you do have to be careful of is these top buttons. Once you get them off, to get them off, by the way, you just literally push this trigger down, shove something underneath, and just whack. They should just pop off. However, sometimes they can be lethal, like so. I seriously don't know where that just went. Hang on a second. I have located it. Let's move that to the side so we don't lose them. Now right here, you can see a screw, and there's also one on the other side. Now, I'm sorry about the lighting, again, working with what I've got, but you're going to start by unscrewing these two at the back. Now you may be wondering, why is the controller still on? Why haven't you turned it off? Well, I tried doing the 10-second PlayStation controller power, 10-second power thingy. It didn't work. So I'm assuming my PlayStation has crashed. That screw went somehow here, so that, or it's from another controller I've been working on. But I've now got both of them off. I did one off camera, and now we can get the front ones off. I'm going to do this off camera, but again, they are up here, so look out for them. Just a quick reminder, before you try taking your controller apart and ripping it apart, remember these latches next to the microphone port, because you will need to take them off, because ripping the controller apart will just break these off. So if you successfully manage to get this off, chances are you probably broke one of these off. And then just like that, your controller should just separate like so. Not really sure what this is. I think it's just to stop the battery from touching the back and warming it up. I don't know. So this is the part where the controller is going to end up having to turn off. So because it's on, we're going to try not to touch any wires, and we're just going to remove the battery from the back plate. Now from here, you can pull via the wires. I don't recommend it, but if you can pull really gently, it will just pop out. I don't trust myself, so I'm going to do this off camera. Again, I don't recommend you do that, but if you're just looking for a quick fix and you don't really mind if the controller breaks in the process, go right ahead. So right now I'm undoing the battery casing. The reason I'm doing this is so I can access the motherboard. just a quick recommendation, if you do not have good memory, I kind of don't recommend you take apart a controller in the first place. So, I do care about the controller breaking, hence why I do keep saying I don't trust myself. This microphone is glued on, so you are going to have to very carefully fold it over somewhere without ripping it off. Just kidding. I'm not that stupid. Adhesive and re-adhese it later on, like I have done now. From here, you can probably see, if I turn the exposure value down on my camera, that there is a lot of ribbon cables connected to the motherboard, such as this one right here. You are going to need to remove these ribbon cables gently. We're going to have to gently remove these ribbon cables one by one. They are very delicate. Depending on which one you have, it will vary in how many ribbon cables are actually available inside the motherboard or on the motherboard. So if you have model 1, I think there's more. I think if you have model 3 or 2, there's less, and if you have model 4, I think there's a lot more. I'm not too sure because I've only operated on like 2 of these controllers, but yeah. And just like that, we have taken the motherboard off. Another warning, some generations of controllers, I'm pretty sure this could just be a false memory, do have ribbon cables attached to the bottom. This did not, but yours may. So before you rip the motherboard like upwards like this, make sure there is no ribbon cables attached, because I don't want you to damage your controller. That wouldn't be good. So, as you can see, I'm missing a thumbstick right now, but that is okay, that is what I was intending to do. So as you can see, this is the thumbstick's sensors. There's 4 of them. One here, and one... no, there is 2, sorry, there's 2. As you can see, this is the thumbstick, and I'm missing the actual tag that's supposed to go on top. But as you can see by these moving parts on the side, these are the sensors. Now, what I'm going to do is just blow into them, because I seriously do not know. I do not want to open this, specifically because this is not a tutorial on how to fix stick drift. This is a tutorial on how to dismantle your controller. Now, as you can see, this is the thumbstick, as I've already mentioned. And what I'm going to do is just simply blow into it, see if I can get any items that could, like dust, items that could be on the sensors, out of the sensors. Because that's clearly what's the problem. It could also just be the return spring is a bit screwed up, because, I mean, it's supposed to return directly to center. And sorry if you couldn't see properly, I was trying to look at it myself, but this is dead center. It should be dead center, and it may look it, but even the slightest movement out of range can cause it to drift. Now, you should be able to wobble it, and there shouldn't be too much leeway. For me, there is quite a lot. It's feelable, if you will. Hello, gyro sensor. I'll give it a quick little blow into, just to make sure your lips are dry as well, so you don't spit into it, because if you spit into it, that's not going to help your case, if I'm being completely honest. Now, whilst I reassemble this controller, I am adamant that you should not like this video, you should not subscribe, and you should definitely not leave a comment, because my setup definitely did not fall over at least 8 times during and before this recording. Where did the screw go? Mother... I definitely didn't break a ring light, which I will put a photo up here, trying to make this video. And I definitely did not have to go and fetch a different screwdriver, because the one I had was too big. I will talk to you when this controller's motherboard is back on. So you'll know when the motherboard is on when you push down, when it's in a flat position and it goes click. it will be a very firm click. It will be like a boop, like that. It will fall a good ½ an inch into place, and as you can see, that is nice and firm with the controller. So what we're going to do is we're going to reattach all of the ribbon cables, which is admittedly the most boring process, but you know. Now, once you've got your motherboard back on and your ribbon cables are successfully attached, you are going to make sure that your clips on the back here are over your wires and not under them, because it will not work that way, and you will know when it's in place when it makes a nice flush touch with the motherboard. One of my screws, and I'm going to screw the motherboard to the battery case. What you're going to do now is you are going to plug your battery, making sure that it is in the correct direction, and you're just going to wonk, and it should just sink into place, and then you can place your battery in its area, making sure no ribbon cables could accidentally get trapped underneath. So this has just happened to me. This rubber piece will come off your microphone if you're not careful. You will have to put it back on, because otherwise, if you don't, you will put your microphone back on your controller and it will literally sound like you're screaming constantly. Your controller is fully internally reassembled. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your back plate and make sure that it goes over the triggers first, because the triggers are the hardest part to get in. Just give it a little squeeze, make sure everything is still connected, including your microphone at the front here. Never forget this, boy. This is going to help you when you don't have a headset. So, yeah, shout out to all the noobs out there who don't have headsets. You're going to take the screws, and I definitely did not just put my back plate on without realizing that I hadn't put the screws in, because I simply would not do that because I'm so professional. We're going to take the screw and you are going to put it in the screw place. And once you've gotten those two screws in, you can now put your faceplate on. Now how you're going to do this is you're going to put these two little prongs on the top that keep dust from going into your controller at the top here, and you're just going to yoink, 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 yoink. Now you may think you're done, but please, please don't forget to do these ones. These ones are the ones that are going to stop your controller from falling apart mid-gameplay, which honestly, if that happened to someone in my party, I would think it'd be very funny. You just play Modern Warfare and your controller just falls apart. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to screw in this screw right here. Again, sorry about the lighting, if it's too bright, too dark. I am still working with what I've got, so please work with me here. And then for the last steps, what you're going to do is you're going to take your R1 and L1 button and you're going to match it up with the button corresponding with your controller. And just like that, your PlayStation 5 controller is fully working once again. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. And just for conclusion, the stick drift is fully gone. Like, there is nothing there. Nothing at all. No matter how little I move the camera, that's not stick drift by the way, this is me doing this. See, look, I'm just moving it really slowly, trying to test the stick drift, and it is completely gone. I seriously do not know how that worked. Some fluke of luck, or I accidentally fixed something, or when I blew into it, it removed something. Yeah. Hope you guys like this video, hope you guys like my world, which I'm currently showing you. And, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!